So we're going in with that simple glam look today using the BYS NUDE palette. Don't mind the voice, it's amazing as always, husky just for you listeners. So we're going to start off with the brows using the Maybelline Studio. Now this is a gel liner, yes, you're probably thinking what the hell, but the texture is like a pomade. It's beautiful. It's like tacky and thick, so a little goes a long way. I'm using that to line the top, line the bottom, and then ever so slightly fill in the center, creating a gradient effect from light to dark, obviously with the brows. Go through that with the spoolie, ladies, and your eyebrows will be slain. You know, I'm all about that darkness. I mean, that might be too much for people, but each to their own. Now what we're going to do, because it is a simple glam, I'm going to conceal underneath and then put the foundation on top. So we're going to conceal all the dark spots, all the blemishes, beautiful blemishes on my face. We do not speak down on ourselves, ladies. So all the beautiful dark circles under my face, you know, from the sleepless nights of raising my beautiful children. So we're just gonna conceal that because we're going for that flawless simple glam look. We don't want to put the concealer on the top, we want to put it on the bottom to blend it ever so slightly so it looks natural and just a clean look. Now I do not have a full coverage foundation, so that's why I'm concealing underneath. Furthermore, I'm using the LA Pro Concealer, Girl Pro Concealer. If you don't have it, that's fine, just go with the Fit Me medium moiden. Depending on your skin tone, you'll find the right shade for you. So yeah, just going in, concealing that with a wet sponge. Now we're not going to conceal that, we're going to follow that through with the foundation. This is the BYS foundation in the shade Natural. This is the shade that fits according to my color. Like I said, find the one that suits your shade, and you just want to use that and obviously blend it in with the concealer as well. Now because we are going for the natural look, we do still want to create those shadows to obviously highlight and contour our face. So instead of doing it on the top as you would normally do with the concealer on top of the foundation, we did it underneath, but we still obviously want to show contrast on our face of what we want to stick out and what we want to obviously create shadows, so contour. So hence why I'm still using obviously a lighter powder. Now I'm going in with the BYS, the ivory shade. There's a white ivory matte shade, which is a highlight powder, but it has no shimmer in it. I'm using that to obviously put that underneath my eyes, on the nose, the bridge of my nose, you know, my chin, because those are the areas, just in the center of my eyebrows, those are the areas that I want to obviously still highlight. And then I'm going in with the pressed powder to obviously create that contrast, create that depth, and still keep the shadows on my face that I want to minimalize, and you know, chisel those cheeks a bit, you know what I mean? So I'm still using the pressed powder, which has a bit of tint, a bit of darker shade in it to create that contrast. So we're still contouring, but using the powder, it's ever so slightly, ever so lightly, ever so slightly. So now we're going to do the eyes, and we're just going to apply VIP to the crease. This is this matte, like light brown color. It's really light, so it's perfect for like merging the shades together. So we're just gonna take that with a fluffy brush and just go on a windscreen wiper motion, and we're just gonna go back and forth into the crease there, just to obviously create some depth. it's perfect, especially if you are going to apply color on your eyelid. Obviously it creates that gradient effect and like the perfect transition. So we're just going back and forth with that color. Now what we're going to do is we're going to ensure that the color that we put on our eyelid actually pops, we're going to apply some OXX Ivory O2 concealer. Now any color concealer that you want to use is fine, obviously a lighter shade, because you obviously are going to put color on it, like pigmentation on it, but the concealer is obviously there to help it pop, you know what I mean, just to make it more 3D, and also is using it as a base for the eyeshadow to adhere to, so it obviously stays for longer, so for longer wear, but also for the color to pop, for you to see the color as well. Obviously we are trying to go for simple glam, but in saying glam, you want to have, you know, something stand out, especially on the upper half of your face, you know what I mean. So following that, we're going to apply flirt on the eyelid. This is that gold shade. It's not on the bright side, but it's shimmery enough that you can notice it. I mean, like I said, we are going for a simple glam look. This is nice, it's simple, it's clean, so you don't want something over the top, you know, too shiny. There's no such thing as being too shiny, ladies, but you know what I mean. You just want something that obviously is standing out a bit, and you can see the difference between your lid and the crease color there. So I mean, you can use your fingers, you know, I like using my fingers, especially when it comes to adhering the powder, but in this case I'm using the brush. A flat top brush is perfect as well, to apply the shades to that wet concealer. Okay, sexy ladies, like I said, we are going for the minimalist, so we're going to be using that look, that shade there, Guest List from the BYS palette. We're going to be using it as a blush, like I said, so you just want to make the most. So like if you don't have a blush, you could just use that shade from the palette just to give you that you know, that look on your cheeks, and it's subtle. So to further add contouring and shaping to the beautiful face in which God already blessed you with, you're going to go in with a bronzer. Any bronzer would do. Couldn't get hold of the OXX bronzer, but I went in with that bronzer from Priceline, which is by Savvy. And if you guys are Priceline shoppers, you know what I'm talking about. Boo boo, get you that bronzer. It's really good and really pigmented. Now this is an in-depth lash tutorial as well. I try to keep it as simple as possible. Basically, if you have lashes you've already worn, take off the old glue. Don't mind my glue, I should have taken off that glue earlier, but let's just do what it do. So you take off the old excess glue, and then what you want to do is you want to put a really thin layer of glue. Use the duo glue. Better yet, girl, if you're in Kmart, grab that Revlon glue. It is the best. I can't even tell you. So you want to apply that glue, let it sit, let it get tacky. Now when you hear other YouTube videos, they say let it get tacky. Girl, let it get tacky. Let it get tacky, as long as you don't get tacky, but let the glue get tacky. And then when you feel like it's nearly dry but not so much dry, as in it's like solid dry, then you want to stick that baby onto your eyelash line. Sorry, not eyelash line. So exactly where the hairs on your eyelash sit, you want to lay it directly on there, and you want to make sure that it fits according to the shape of your eye. If you feel like the lashes are too long, then cut a bit of that off. Either measure it, put the lash to your eye. If your eye is too small or too big, cut the lash accordingly. and obviously you want to do the other lash as well. Now what I do is I play with them, so I lift them, I move them with my fingers. I obviously wait until they dry, but by moving them afterwards and adjusting it, you're making sure that they're laying flat, and then with movement, with wind, they don't move. If you do feel it's coming off, in which this case you see it does, in the beginning where a lot of girls lashes come off, go in there with a glue boo, add it to the end of it or a tweezer, get in that tiny space again, let it get tacky, and relay that baby down just like you lay a man down, or ladies, whatever your preference is, boo boo. Now I'm going in with that sponge and I'm mattifying my lips to get it ready for the lipstick, applying it with that sponge that has excess foundation from your previous use, and just applying that ever so slightly, and then going in with the OXX lipstick in the color Sarah. Now this is from their long wear range. I love it. I mean, it's pigmented, it's $4. I mean, what can you say? It ain't a MAC, but hey baby, we trying to look bougie on a budget, okay? I mean, if you got MAC dollars, honey, you can be Mac daddy, but I am trying to look slain on a budget, bougie on a budget. So we're going with the OXX long wear lipstick in the color Sarah 03. It is beautiful, it's pigmented, and then if need be, obviously press against tissue. If not, that's fine. Do you, boo boo? Everybody is different. So yeah, that is the look. Now I don't feel like you need to line after or even before, because it's so pigmented and it's beautiful, sits beautifully. Go in with any mascara. Go in with any mascara, like I said. But yeah, once you've gone in, apply the mascara, then set it with any setting spray, and yeah, here is the final look, ladies. Enjoy.